All right, folks, this is it. This is Mr. Carey coming back at you again. The last video, 3 of 3 for our Chapter 7 review / test. If you've stuck with me for the past 2 tests, congratulations. You've deserve something. An ice cream, I don't know, like candy, or maybe just like a good grade on the test. You know, that really is the reward in itself. That's what I always say. So speaking of like fun treats, you know, I actually had I made like a little joke, you know, like a cake joke. Like I talked about cake in the last video, and I just thought of another joke, which hopefully will go over pretty well. So I always start off with my lesson with a joke. What is it called when the bottom half of a fraction has like a lot of cake in it? All right, the bottom half of a fraction has a lot of cake in it. You ready? It's called a denominator. Yeah. No, I know. Thank you. No. You guys are too good. Anyway, there's my joke kicking off today's lesson. And so without further ado, let's get into some more math. Let's push through, right? All right, Russ has 2 jars of glue. One jar is 1/5 full. The other jar is 2/5 full. I'm going to highlight 1/5 full, 2/5 full. Use the fractions to write an equation to find the amount of glue Russ has. And I'm sure some of you are looking at this like, are you kidding me, Mr. Carey? Like, all we have to do is just add them together, right? I mean, that's it. So all you have to do, what's this one here? That goes there, that goes there. So 1/5 plus what? 2/5 equals what? 3/5. And I can now 1/5 plus 2/5 equals 3/5. They put this little dude there to confuse you, right? To like, oh, what do I got to do with that 4/5? Don't even bother, right? Just go, okay, how much glue does he have? Well, we're going to use our little friend, addition. I haven't drawn like an addition sign, right? Here's my friendly addition sign. We're going to use addition. And he's like, yay, you're finally going to use me. So if it helps you, just write it out like this. 1/5 plus 2/5 equals 3/5. And then you just have to bring your guys over here, right? And you're not going to use 4/5. Cool, that was pretty easy. All right, number 14. Gertie ran, of course I wrote over that. I can't see. There we go. 3/4 of a mile or 3/4 of a mile during a PE class. Sarah ran 2/4 of a mile during the same class. How much further did Gertie run than Sarah? So now we're using our friend. You can do this, right? Our old friend, subtraction, right? He's happy. Subtraction is going to be used. So we're going to shade the model. So I'm going to shade in. So let's do red for Sarah. 2/4 of a mile. And then let's do, I don't know, blue. Yeah, sure. Blue for Gertie. All right, so I'm going to shade in. It's going to be kind of cool. I'm going to shade in. The top is going to be Gertie, right? So count with me. 3/4 of a mile. Here's 1/4, 2/4, and 3/4. And if this helps, I'll just draw my line. There we go. Comparing it. There we go. And then Sarah, she ran 2/4. And so basically, what's the difference, right? You know, you want to set it up as an equation. 3/4 minus 2/4 will give me what? Sure, 1/4. And how do I know that? Well, look, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. There's my quarter. There's my difference. 1/4 of a mile further than Sarah. Excellent. All right. Teresa planted marigolds. That's fun. It's not really the season for marigolds, but she planted marigolds in 2/8 of her garden, and petunias in 3/8 of her garden. What fraction of the garden has marigolds and petunias? What does that mean? All you're going to do is add them up. That's it. What fraction of the garden has marigolds and petunias? Well, if I have 2/8 are marigolds, and I have 3/8 are petunias, well, how much of that is in the garden? 2/8 plus 3/8 is 5/8. And There you go, 5/8. Perfect. All right, now number 16 is going to get a little tricky. And I'm going to show you, we've kind of gone over how you do mixed numbers to improper fractions. But now all you have to do is draw, I'm going to move this up a little bit, draw a line to show the mixed number and the fraction that have the same value. So what you're going to do, mixed number, improper fraction, they're going to be the same answer. Find the answer for me, okay? So the first thing we need to do, let's start with 3 2/7. Now I don't want to do my breaking apart. I'm going to do it right now. I don't want to do it, but you're making me do it, and that's okay. And if you want to do it this way, you are totally fine to do it, right? So there is my 3, right? 1 hole, 2 hole, 3 hole. There's my 3 holes and my 2/7. 7 plus 7 plus 7. 7, 14, 21, 22, 23. All right. Do I have that? No, I don't. So it looks like that's not going to be a match, right? 3 2/7 isn't going to be a match. Now you're probably confused, but Mr. Carey, I thought they're going to they're all going to be matched up. No, 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 no. The mixed number and fraction, right? There's only going to be one of these little guys that you're going to be able to use, right? So again, Mr. Carey is going to take me so long. It really won't. Not if we do it this way. So let's just kick through it, right? 4 5/8. And I'll do it. Oh, look at that. Mr. Carey's already messing up. 4 5/8. All right, let's do our addition again, right? I like doing it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then don't forget my 5/8. And what do we have? So 8 plus 8, or how about this? 1, 2, 3, 4. 8 times 4 is 32. 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. So that will give us 37/8. And let's look. Do we have a 4 5/8 and a 37/8? 37/8? Well, looky. It looks like we do. And you know what? Now that we've found the mixed number and fraction, we're done, right? We've found our match. 4 5/8 is the same as 37/8. And you saw I did a little multiplication. Remember, if you don't want to add it up like that, you can just do this. I'll write it kind of big. 4 5/8, right? So 4 times 8 is 32 plus 5 equals 37/8, right? That's how I would do it, right? I'll highlight the parts here. 4 times 8 equals 32 plus 5 equals 37. Cool. All right. Hope you saved that. And if you didn't, just press pause, write it down, because it's going away. All right. So there's our answer. And I mean, I can go through and check. Sure. 2 3/5. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 3 is 13/5. Don't have a fifths. Or even better, look at, do I even have a fifth denominator here? No. I have an eighth denominator. 2 times 8 is 16. 17, 18, 19. Do I have a 19/8? Nope. So we know we are golden with these two fractions. All right, let's go on to number 17. Tally. Tally's baby sister eats a quarter of a cup of rice cereal in the morning and then a quarter cup in the afternoon. Okay, so how long will it take her to eat 2 cups of rice cereal? All right, so let's figure out if you're going to break it down like this. Let's do day 1, and then we'll do day 2, day 3, and then day 4, right? Because I'm basing it off of this, right? All right, here we go. And I would set it up this way. Like, I mean, you can just do the math if you want, but if you're struggling to like kind of put everything together, like, then there's nothing wrong with putting this on here, right? Draw it out, draw a table, draw a picture. I don't care. Whatever you need to do to figure this out. So let's figure it out. So Tally's baby sister eats a quarter cup in the morning plus a quarter cup in the afternoon. So what is that? Quarter cup plus a quarter cup gives me a half a cup. So all we're doing is adding, she eats a half a cup on one day, half a cup another day, half a cup another day, half a cup another day. Well, let's add these up. What's 1 half plus 1 half? That's 1 cup in 2 days. So this is day 1, she ate a half a cup. Day 2, she ate a whole cup. Right, here's my 1 cup. And then on day 3, she had 1.5 cups. And then day 4, 1 half plus 1 half plus 1 half plus 1 half gets me 2 whole cups. So how long will it take her to eat 2 cups of rice cereal? 4 days. There you go. Now, there is an easier way to do this. It's called dividing, which we're going to do if you're like, but Mr. Carey, we can just divide it. Yes, we can. We're not going to do it, though. Wait until chapter 8. Wait until, either I teach you, your teacher teaches you, you watch a YouTube video, or you just touch the math book and you just get, all the knowledge like that through osmosis or like the Matrix. So just hold off on dividing. This is like the way I would do this problem. All right, let's go ahead and boom, that's gone. And let's bring up our last and final page. We are almost done, and it's 3, 2, 1. Boom, there it is. Okay. 3 girls are selling cases of popcorn to earn money for a band. Again, I tell my students, like, do we really care that they're getting, like, no, we don't. So I'm just going to go ahead. Got it. Don't care, don't care, don't care, don't care. So all I care about, Emily sold 2 3/4 cases. Brenda sold 4 1/4 cases. Brenda is like awesome, good saleswoman. Shannon sold 3 1/2 cases. Not bad, pretty good. Looks like Emily needs to step up her game a little bit. All right, here we go. How many cases of popcorn have the girls sold? Here we go. In all, meaning we're going to use another friend, our friendly addition guy. Yay, you're using me. Here we go, right? I'm even gonna, yay, I get to be used. Okay, anyway, and then explain how you found your answer. Now, here's a tip. Mr. Carey is going to give you a little tip, and I need to draw out my guy first, and then I'll do my sound effect. So here's a tip from Mr. Carey. Draw our little idea guy. All right, and I think I drew like the weird. There we go. There we go. That's better. That's like a better light bulb. And then. So here is a tip from me to you. All right, there it is. Thank you, sound effect man. All right, the tip. You could just add this straight away, right? You could just add 2 3/4 plus 4 1/4 plus 3. You could do that, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. But here's a tip. Use the associative property to make it easier. Use the associative property. That's your tip, right? Use it to make it easier. Why have an improper fraction and then have to just kind of mess around with it? Don't do that. So let's write it out here. And plus, if I, as a teacher, if I saw you doing this using the associative property without even being prompted, oh man, that'd be awesome. You wouldn't get any, you'd get like a handshake and say congratulations. But here we go. 2 and 3. Let me write this in the colors that I'm using, right? So Emily, 2 3/4 plus Brenda, our big saleswoman, 4 1/4. And then we have Shannon, not far behind, with 3 1/2. Now I want you to look at this. All right, they try to throw you for a loop here. So 4, 4, and then 2. And you're like, Mr. Carey, I can't add these up, right? I can't add different denominators. It's not going to work, right? And I'm going to say, yeah, you're totally right. So you're going to have to change this little guy, 3 1/2. You're going to have to change it so it has a 4 in the denominator. So if I have 1/2, right, 1 is half of 2, well, I need to change it, right? So what do I need to change it? I need to change it. What's half of 4? 2. So 3.5 is the same as 3 2/4. Right? All is right in the world. Now we can go through and add. But before we start adding, yes, we could just go through and add. Go 3 plus 1 plus 2 gets me 6/4. And then 2 plus 4 is 6, 7, 8, 9. I had 9 6/4. And then you got to go through like another step. And then you got to, and I don't, let's just not do that. Let's use our tip. Use the associative property. Which one of these fractions, or which two of these fractions, when added together, will give us a whole? Right? I'm going to go 2 3/4 plus 4 1/4 because 3 plus 1 is 4. So 3 plus 1 is 4/4, which is basically 1. Not basically, it is 1. 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 plus 1 gets me what? 7 plus 3 2/4, and then I get 10 2/4, but you'd make me much happier if you said 10 1/2. And then you just have to explain your answer, right? How'd you find the answer? And I mean, you could just say, I added them up. Don't say, like, I did the math, right? Because one, that's, of course you're doing math. Like, it's because we're in a math class. I'd be concerned if you did language arts, at like a math, at a math test, right? Like, I did the language arts on a math test. Yeah, I know. I don't know if any, everyone, I don't know if any teachers like ever said that. I just thought it was pretty funny. Like, it's like, how'd you figure out the answer? Well, I use science for my math test. Anyway, not to beat that joke into the ground. So how'd you find your answer? So I added the 3 girls, cases together, and use the associative property to make adding easier. And then, you could just, it's fine, right? If you said that, I added the 3 girls' cases together and used the associative property to make adding easier. Like, I would know what you're saying, right? And you would get, full credit on that. All right, excellent. So, but now part B, right? The girls must sell a total of 35 cases in order to have enough money for the trip. Okay, so suppose they sell the same amount in week 2 and week 3. We should probably highlight this, huh? They must sell 35 cases. Here's our question. Will they have sold enough cases of popcorn to go on the trip? So they sell the same amount in week 2 and week 3. So our 10 2/4, we're just going to add together, right? So will they have sold enough? Well, let's check it out. If they sold 2 3/4 plus 4 1/4 plus 3 1/2, let's take a look. Well, we have in our first answer, remember we had 10 1/2, right? I'm going to highlight that. Week 1, they sold 10 1/2 cases. So let's add it up. Week 1 plus week 2 plus week 3. Now just add them up, right? Now, you can just add them straight away and go 1 plus 2, and you'll have 3 halves. Let's not do that. Use our associative property. Don't forget my tip, right? Tip of the day. When you can use the associative property, do it. Yep, thank you, Mr. Tip Guy. Thank you. All right, 10 1/2 plus 10 1/2. So what's 1/2 plus 1/2 is 1. 10 plus 10 is 20. So 20 plus 1 is 21. Plus 10 1/2 gets us 31 1/2 cases. Now, that's our answer, but will they have sold enough to go on the trip? How much did they need to sell? They needed to sell 35 cases. Unfortunately, 31 1/2 cases is less than 35 cases, so they don't get to go on the trip. So you just need to explain, basically just explain what I drew out. So how would I explain that? They will not, they will not be able to go on the trip. I added the 3 weeks together and had a sum of 31 1/2 cases, which is less than 35 they needed. So probably one of your questions is, Mr. Carey, like, do we have to like write all that? Yeah, like, why not? Just write that. Like, that's what you did. You're just explaining to me that you understand what you did, and you're not just like, adding numbers together randomly. So absolutely. Now, if you don't want to write that, I can't make you. But teachers love to see explanations like that, because it means that you are understanding what it is that we've been doing for the past, 2 or 3 weeks on Chapter 7. Probably 2 weeks. Okay, number 19. Henry ate 3/8 of a sandwich. Keith ate 4/8 of the same sandwich. That's fine, I guess. Kind of sharing sandwiches. Hopefully they cut it up. Henry ate 3/8 of the sandwich. Keith ate 4/8 of the same sandwich. How much more of the sandwich did Keith eat than Henry? How much more, right? How much more? Meaning our old friend, subtraction, is back here. Yay, subtraction. Okay, so let's take Keith. Keith ate 4/8. Well, how much did Henry eat? Henry only ate 3/8. So what is 4/8 minus 3/8? 1/8. So Keith ate 1/8 more of the sandwich. All right, here we go. Now we get to do number 20. We're almost there. We're almost done. Stick with me. All right, we're going to choose true or false. All you're going to do is choose true or false for each sentence. Okay, so you have to add, this requires you to kind of convert your mixed numbers and improper fractions, because you'll notice, I'll highlight this in yellow, none of these there's no improper fractions. They're all proper fractions. Why are they proper fractions? Well, one, the numerator is smaller than the denominator, and two, they do speak with a British accent, and they drink Earl Grey tea with their pinky out. Oh, man. What? Really? Fine. I won't use that joke again. Anyway, let's move on. 1 4/9 and 2 6/9. Is that equal to 4 1/9? Well, let's check it out. 1 4/9. So you are going to have to probably add these up. 1 4/9 plus 2 6/9 should give me 3 10/9. But remember, I've got too much there, so I'm going to give one of my wholes, right? 10/9, that's more than a whole. I'm going to take my 9/9, I'm going to give them to him. That will give me 4. 10 minus 9 gives me 4 1/9. So that is very true. All right. Now, some of these you're not going to have to go all the way through, and I'll show you why. Number 20b. So here we go. 3 5 6 plus 2 3 6 equals what? Well, 5 6 plus 3. Let's do 3 plus 2 first is 5. 5 6 plus 3 6 is 8 6. Now there's a problem here. Look at this and look at that. So 5 2 6. My answer is 5 8 6. I know 5 8 6 is bigger than 5 2 6. I don't even need to convert it. I just know, no, that's wrong. Not correct. Get out of here. All right, so sometimes you don't even need to convert it all the way, which is cool. All right, now we go into subtraction. 4 5/8 minus 2 4/8. All right, so what is 5/8 minus 4/8? Should give me 1/8. 4 minus 2 is 2. So there's my answer, but that guy doesn't match up. 2 1/8 is my answer, but they got 2 3/8, so that's a false. Nope. Nope. All right, last one. 5 5/8. Let's check it out. 5 5/8 minus 3 2/8. So 5 eighths minus 2 eighths should give me 3 eighths. 5 minus 3 should give me 2. 2 and 3 eighths. 2 and 3 eighths. Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner. It's true. All right. Here we go. Oh, I get to use I actually did find a new translation sound effect. Tell me if you like it. I mean, when I typed in like translation sound effect, I got transition. Basically, like Google's telling me, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. All right, so Justin lives 4 3/5 miles from his grandfather's house. It's not too far away. And what do we need to do? We need to write the mixed number as a fraction greater than 1. Again, what does that mean? Write as a fraction greater than 1. All right, here we go. Ready for my translation? Here it is, my translation. And here it is. Ooh, kind of nice, right? There's my translation. What does that mean? Convert 4 3/5 into an improper fraction. I mean, that's all it is. That's when they say a fraction greater than 1. Here we go. Fraction greater. I like this. Fraction. How about this? Fraction greater than 1 is the same as improper fraction. That's your translation. That's like a double translation. I think that requires a double sound effect. Oh, maybe one more? Ooh, yeah, that was like a triple sound effect there. All right, so we just need to figure out 4 3/5, write it as a fraction greater than 1. All right, I'm going to do it 2 ways because we're at the home stretch here. I'll do the first way in my black pen. So 4 3/5 is the same. How many holes do I have? I have 4. So 1 hole plus 2 holes plus 3 holes plus 4 holes, and then don't forget that little guy, plus 3/5. And what do I have? 5, 10, 15, 20, 21, 22, 23. I should have 23/5. Now let's do it in the multiplication way. Remember, 4 3/5. That's the same as 4 times 5 equals 20 plus 3 equals 23/5. Same exact answer. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure once again. We are at the end of our Chapter 7 review test. Hopefully this has been helpful for you. So yeah, we are done. 3 videos. Boom, in and out. Thank you. No, it was good. It was good. It was good. It was a good review. It was a good review. It was a good review. I'm glad you all liked it. Anyway, Chapter 8 is coming up next, right? You're going to love Chapter 8, multiplying and dividing fractions. One of my favorite things to do. It is way, way easier than adding and subtracting fractions. And if you're like, well, how is it? Wait until Chapter 8. You're going to love it. Anyway, Mr. Carey signing out. If you liked it, like the video. Give me a like. You want to leave a comment how much it helped you? Fantastic. If it didn't help you or I did something wrong, let me know. Put it in the comment section before you click that unlike button, because that's really it stings a little bit when I see that. Anyway, Mr. Carey, Mr. C signing out, and I will see you all in Chapter 8.